Hello and welcome to this third exercise of Power Automate in a Day. In this exercise, we will focus on mobile notification, so how to send mobile notification from a Power Automate flow, and trigger condition, how to filter the condition of a flow. What we will do here is we will set up a flow that will send a mobile notification for urgent mail. So an email is considered urgent if its subject line contains an exclamation mark. So typically, you define your out of office in your Outlook, and in your out of office message, you can specify that you don't have access to your email. However, if an email is urgent, please put exclamation mark in the subject, right? Just to keep it simple. Of course, we can rely on AI to to check if an email is urgent. Okay, but let's keep it simple. Let's start. Let's create a flow, a new flow, automated flow, because it will be triggered by a new email that arrived in your mailbox. Let's name it urgent mail. Select the trigger type mail when a new email arrives. V3 Office 365 Outlook. Make sure that you are selecting the one associated with Office 365 Outlook. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to check the subject of the email. So let's put a condition. Okay. And let's grab the dynamic value from the when an email arrives subject. And here we can use contains operator and exclamation mark. Then if that's the case, we'll move to the left branch. And here we can use something that is actually free, the mobile notification. So notification connector, send the mobile notification. So, and you can just customize the message that you will get. And if you authorize so you need to have the Power Automate application in your mobile, and you need to authorize this application, of course, to send notification. Then you'll get a ping or a notification on your mobile for free. So you have received an important email. Okay. And perhaps can we put the topic or the subject? The subject. See. Okay. We can test the flow. If you click test, it will save and start testing. Before doing that, we can name or condition accordingly. Something like urgent or urgent mail. All right. Let's send an email. Let's display my phone. So on my phone, I've installed the Power Automate application, and I've authorized app notification on my phone. That's important. So install the mobile application on your phone. All right, so an email has been sent. You won. So let's try another one. You won. Send. And normally I should get a notification on my phone. Yes. So we get a notification, right? So that's very cool. And let's see the trace of the flow. 12 seconds ago is this one, and we can see that it was actually urgent, right? Urgent is true. No, we can do more efficient. We can make that more efficient because anytime there is a new mail, the flow start. We can put a subject filter in this action here. You see, subject filter exclamation mark. Then we don't have to check if it's urgent because it's by default urgent if the flow start. Okay, and you don't, and the workflow will only start if there is an exclamation mark. So if I send the same email, that's of course very important because there is a limited number of time that a workflow can start, depending on the license. It's several thousands per day, depending on the license, of course, but there is a limitation. So you need to make them more efficient. Okay, send the same email. And normally, the flow should start, okay, here. And I should get a notification. Here we go, fine. So it works. So if you send an email without this exclamation mark, the flow won't start. So that is interesting. But this filter only works when an email arrives, right? And there probably other trigger where this can be done. So we have another mechanism, more generic, which is the trigger condition. So in the settings of the trigger, we can put some expression code, show all here, and somewhere we have trigger condition. Okay, so we can add a trigger condition, but then you need to understand the syntax of this automate expression. Okay. And let's delete this, and we are going to put a compose here just to make sure that our code works. So compose is a big trash where you can put whatever you want. Very useful action. And here, if you click FX, you can put your own custom code. And what we can do is use a function called contains. There are plenty of functions in Power Automate. Contains, right? It's this function. Or you can type it directly here, but if you type, you'll be guided. You will be guided because we have IntelliSense. Contains parentheses, a collection or a string. So fx, this is what I've done. Contains contained with s parentheses, and the string will be the trigger subject. Let's grab dynamic value. Let's grab subject, and you see the code goes there, comma, and exclamation mark in single quote, between single quote. This language is called Logic Definition Language, aka Power Automate Expression Language. Click add, don't forget to click add. I've noticed that many people forget add. Even myself, sometimes I forget. So you get some code there, right? You can test the code there, and when it works, you can copy that to the trigger condition. Okay? So you can copy that to the trigger condition. Let's add a trigger condition. So paste the code, but it must start with at to indicate that what follows is code. So that's mandatory. So you can delete the compose. We still have the trigger condition. And the trigger condition is better than the subject filter because you have more flexibility here. It's not only about the subject, it could be whatever you want. Okay, so let's test this. If you send an email containing exclamation mark, or without exclamation mark, it should not work. With exclamation mark, it should work. Let's see if the flow started. Not yet. Can click all run. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. It worked. Okay. Another one without exclamation mark. This one should not trigger the flow. You didn't win. Okay, nothing happened, which is good. Fine. Nothing. Okay, so trigger conditions are very powerful. Don't forget to turn off your flow. Otherwise, if you do that, if you run your flow on your own enterprise tenant, I mean, your flow, well, not this one because this one with the trigger condition should be fine, but the one without the trigger condition should start anytime there is a new email. So be very careful when you write such flow. I hope that you enjoy the exercise so far, and now you are ready to move to a more complex exercise.